In today's video, I thought that we would talk about why my family bought a side-by-side. Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. It's Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. And like I said earlier, today's video is going to be about why my family got a side-by-side. Okay, and for those of you that didn't see the last video I put out, I'll just kind of catch you up. My family went ahead and we bought a Tracker 800SX Crew side-by-side. Now, before I get into some of the reasons that we bought a side-by-side, I'd like to hear from you guys. I'd like to hear what kind of side-by-sides you have. What are your uses for them? Maybe they're just for fun. Maybe use them for work. I'd be curious to hear from you guys, like why you bought the one that you have, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. So please leave some comments below. I'd be pretty interested to hear why other people are buying side-by-sides. Like I said, I know there's a lot of good reasons to have them. They're just fun to drive around. But having something fun to ride around in really didn't justify the price tag that comes with them, at least for us. So we had to have some practical reasons why we bought ours. And like I said, I'll kind of get into that in this video. Me and my wife have probably been kind of looking at side-by-sides for over 20 years now. Each spring we would go to like the boat shows and we'd kind of check them out and we'd talk about, how cool it would be to have one, this, that, and the other thing. But we never really were able to quite justify the price tag. Now, we certainly live a lifestyle that would have a lot of uses for a side-by-side. We live out in the woods, we live on 23 acres. Our outbuildings are kind of spread apart a little bit around the property, so there's just a lot of back and forth that goes into just us going about our normal daily business around the house. Whether that's getting some chicken food from the pole barn to the chicken coop. For a number of years we had sheep. Whether that means getting some hay bales from the pole barn to the sheep pen. Going out on the property, getting some firewood, getting the firewood into the woodshed. And then of course when winter comes, you're getting the wood from the woodshed into the house. One thing I've used the side-by-side for already was just getting a load of wood from the woodshed and kind of stocking up the wood pile we have by our sauna. Another real common thing that we might do around here is go over to one of our outbuildings, grab some tools, grab some lumber, and then go across to a different part of the property and work on something, build something, fix something. Even something just as simple as getting the garbage to the end of the road. We have a little bit of a long driveway, so we'll use the side-by-side for that too. So we're definitely going to be getting some practical work out of our new side-by-side. But we haven't even got into the fun stuff yet, right? Okay. Now if you've been following the channel, I think you know that we really like to do a lot of hunting and fishing here at Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Okay. And we're definitely going to be incorporating this side-by-side into these hunting and fishing adventures too. Whether that means driving it out to a deer blind, hauling a deer in from the woods, hopping in the side-by-side with a couple rods and going to fish some trout streams. Again, we will definitely be incorporating the side-by-side into those types of adventures. Now, we've used other vehicles to do a lot of these tasks in the past, right? We've certainly used a pickup truck for a lot of those things. We've got a couple old four-wheelers. We might use those to get out to a deer blind or haul a deer out of the woods. We've got a few old snowmobiles that we can kind of get around in the woods in the winter time or take out ice fishing. Even dragging a deer blind out into the woods, we've used our old tractor for that sort of thing. But I can kind of foresee this side-by-side taking the place of all those other vehicles for a lot of these tasks. And of course, side-by-sides, they're just fun to ride around in too, right? I'm pretty sure the whole family is really going to enjoy just hopping in and just going for a nice ride. We'll probably enjoy it a little bit more when the weather warms up, but even now, it's kind of a fun thing to do. But even with all those uses that I just mentioned, it still was pretty difficult to justify the price tag just for those things alone. But the one thing that sort of put us over the top to go ahead and buy this side-by-side is that our plow truck is kind of nearing the end of its lifespan. It's still a functioning plow truck, and we're still hopeful that it's going to get us through this winter. But we're kind of to the point where we're going to have to invest some money into it and probably some time if we want to keep using it. Okay, the tires are pretty worn out, not much tread left in the tires. I threw a bunch of old cement bags in the back to give us a little traction. That kind of helps out. The plow itself has several holes rusted right through it. So that would either be, kind of some major repairs or possibly getting a whole new plow entirely. The light bar was completely rusted out several years ago. I did some welding repairs on that. The running lights on the light bar are just taped in place, because the metal that they were attached to just kind of rusted away. And I think for a while we've had a colony of mice actually living in that Suburban plow truck. I've mentioned this in other videos that I think the mice have taken some of the deer corn that I've had inside that Suburban at different times, and they've stuffed it up into every little nook and cranny and heating duct that's inside the Suburban. So when you turn the heat on and you start plowing, it kind of smells like popcorn. And also, even just this fall, when I started up for the first time, we got our first little bit of snow, a mouse nest just blew out of the tailpipe. I had shown that in another video too. And just the other day, I had a new registration. I was going to put that in the glove box. I open up the glove box, and there's a mouse nest in there. Okay, so I think if we were going to continue on past this year, I think we were looking at possibly getting an entire new plow and maybe actually putting it on a different vehicle entirely. So we were kind of looking at making a major investment in our snow removal. So my wife kind of came up with this fantastic idea. She said, why don't we go ahead and finally buy this side-by-side and we'll put a snowblower on the front of it. And of course, I'm not going to say no to that, right? That's a fantastic idea. Now, you guys know my last name is Knetter. It's not Trump, it's not Rockefeller. So we're going to have to hold off till next fall to actually get the snowblower itself, okay? We got the side-by-side first, okay? And then maybe by next fall we'll get the snowblower. But that's the plan for right now. That was the main driving force. That was the main reason that we could kind of justify the price tag, is that it is going to become our main mode of snow removal. Like I said, that's the plan for now. Maybe something will change between now and next winter. Like I said, we're still very hopeful that the old green Suburban plow truck is going to get us through one more winter. But the plan is for now, going into next winter, we'll have a nice big snowblower on the front of the side-by-side, and that'll be our snow removal. So those are some of the main reasons that my family went ahead and got a side-by-side. But again, I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you do with your side-by-sides? What do you like about them? What don't you like about them? What kind did you get? Why did you get that kind? I'd be really curious to hear about that stuff from you guys, so leave some comments below. And also, hey, remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. This is Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching and God bless. Oh, hey, you stayed till the end. I must have done something right.